Yes guys, welcome back to another video. Welcome to the George Benson football channel. I thought we'd kind of change things up for the international break because we've all been on holiday, kind of a holiday. I mean, it looks very much like a holiday, doesn't it, behind me? This is a gorgeous place to set up and film your Liverpool versus Chelsea Anfield Premier League preview. It has been a long 2 weeks. It is every time we get into the Premier League season, there's the September break, and that's annoying, and then you get back into it, and then you got the October break, and that's annoying. It's going to be a bit different now that England have got Thomas Tuchel. If you want to hear my thoughts on that, check out yesterday's video. But Liverpool away. We've got to talk here about expectations. We've got to talk about the grandeur that is this fixture and how much it means to Chelsea. But importantly here, I think I just want to address the fact that at this very moment of time, if we lose this game, I think I'm not going to be as upset and annoyed about it as, say, another year down the line. More time under Maresca, more consistency. At the minute, we're kind of riding this wave of optimism again, riding a wave of positivity about where the team are going to go. How good can we become? We're fourth. Should we look at third, second and first, or should we still be looking down at fifth and sixth? And the way that Maresca has spoken about the team this season is it's all about the next game. He doesn't care who we're playing after the next game. It's about what is put in front of us. So when we talk about Liverpool, right now under Aren Slot, they probably couldn't have dreamed of making a better start to the season. And the game that they lost was against Nottingham Forest. And we saw how difficult that was playing at Stamford Bridge against Nottingham Forest. So this Liverpool team right now, this is probably the toughest fixture that you can possibly have in the league. You look at Arsenal and I'm thinking, I'm not entirely sure if they're as good as the results maybe suggest. Man City, we've already played them. And everybody else, I'm like, it's just Liverpool right now that I just don't want to play against. So if we do lose this game, I'm not going to be kicking up a hell of a fuss. You ask me that tomorrow after the game is done, if we lose 5-1. Obviously, reactionarily wise, I'm not going to be the happiest man in the world. Chelsea are in a position where we can be excited for this fixture again, but I'm not going to say I expect us to win. And I was thinking about this one because I know that a lot of the people that didn't want to back Maresca or didn't want to back the new owners are thinking, well, this is great because this is where Chelsea belong. This is what we should expect at a minimum. But I think we should just kind of like take it back a little bit with this game in mind. If we get a great result in this one, then brilliant. We can only keep looking up. We can only keep sustaining and keep continuing this form. But if we do lose this game, I'm not going to be that upset in the bigger picture. And I think when we've had the 2 weeks that we've had, we've seen the international break, we've got players coming back from injury, you've got Reece James in full training. We spoke about that a bit yesterday as well. You've got Lavia coming back into things now. I'm recording this before I actually watch the Enzo Maresca press conference because I've got to get this video out and I'm going to be travelling on the day that is a post-press conference, basically. I've got a long drive to do. So, I'm going to build my Chelsea team here. There's a lot of questions that have immediate answers because we've got flipping suspensions going into this one as well. No Marc Cucurella, which could be a problem, but we've got a man to fill the boots. And no Wesley Fofana. But again, I look at Chelsea's record of discipline so far this season, and yes, we've got to get better. We spoke about that in the last podcast episode, the 3 More Points podcast. Link to it in the description, both Apple Podcasts and Spotify. It's available to listen if you don't have the time to watch on YouTube. So, we have got some force changes, and then there are a couple that we could do, we might do, probably won't do, or maybe we do. So, Robert Sanchez is the Chelsea goalkeeper. I think I'm going to say what I've said all season long because as of right now, I still haven't seen the consistency that I think is necessary to win the league. If you win the Premier League, it's because everybody, goalkeeper, defence, midfield and attack, everyone is playing. And I think right now, Chelsea don't necessarily have that level of quality on a consistent basis with the goalkeeping and also the defending. Question marks in the midfield, and then I think if we're talking about tick box game, going forward, in attack, Chelsea are blistering. And that is where the goals are coming from as well, which is important. Bernardo Cueva, set-piece specialist. Sounds like a crisp, doesn't it, from back in the day. Bernardo Cueva with a Z, that is. I think you can see the work that's going in. We're trying new routines and stuff. And it's not like Arsenal right now, where if they get a corner, you know they're probably going to score, or a free kick. Chelsea is still in that developmental process. So, Sanchez keeps his place in goal, but please deliver. That flipping dodgy haircut is doing my head in right now. The back four is going to be Malo Gusto, Tosin, Colwill, and Renato Vega. I think Vega is ready for a game like this. I think he's got the right attitude. I think he's got the right characteristics in his personality to be able to contain himself in a fixture like this. You go to Anfield and sometimes the crowd can get under your skin. I think it's a bit of a myth in the Premier League. It's mainly in those Champions League nights, as they said, even on the overlap recently. But Renato Vega, I think, is ready. With Tosin, I also think he's ready. He's got this calmness and composure when he's on the ball. There's a doggo just over here. He might want to come and say hello, but he's keeping his distance at the moment. Do you want to have a look at him? Look. There he is. Mr. Dogman Bill. Lovely little creature he is. But anyway, we move and discuss now the midfield. I was thinking, is it Lavia and Caicedo, or is it Enzo and Caicedo? I think the one absolute guarantee is that Moises Caicedo, if he's fit, if he's healthy, if he gets back off the flipping plane from South America, then Caicedo starts for Chelsea. So the question, that dog is giving me a real good sniff down here. Hello, mate. How you doing? The real question is it Enzo or Lavia as his partner? And I think for a game of this magnitude, and when I think back to some of the best performances I've seen under with Enzo Fernandez, I'm saying Liverpool last season, same as Harry said in the podcast, one of his better performances. So I think Chelsea will need Enzo to turn up here, put in a massive game performance and a big shift. And then I think we can go to Anfield and absolutely get something. When I started this video, kind of like, it doesn't really matter if we lose. Of course, it always matters if we lose. But I think the important thing that we need to realise is that right now, at least we're in a position where we feel like we can be competitive. We feel as though we can put in a performance and play against the best teams. And not just the best teams, whatever's put in front of us. So I'm going with that level of continuity as well. I'm picking Enzo Fernandez and I'm picking Caicedo. Moving into the front four, again, there's question marks here. You've got Mudryk putting in a really good shift on international break. You've got Pedro Neto, who was putting in a serious shift when he was playing before, knocking on Noni's door. Mudryk knocking on Sancho's door. Cole Palmer and Nkunku, I mean, these guys are flipping got gold plates all around their doors with gold knockers. I don't know how anyone's going to break through that. And then you've got Jackson up front with Nkunku knocking on his door. So the question is, are we answering any doors when we build this Chelsea lineup for this game at Anfield? And I'm going to say that we don't. I say that we keep with Sancho on the left wing, Cole Palmer in the 10, Jackson up front with Noni Madueke as the Chelsea right winger. I think you could absolutely argue a case that sees Neto start on the right. You could argue Nkunku starting up front ahead, potentially of Nicholas Jackson in this game. But I don't think you change it. I think right now we're doing well. I think the Forest result, some people will say, it wasn't actually that good. You should always be beating Forest. It wasn't a great performance. We should have done better. But it was one of those one-off days where the goalkeepers won the show. And sometimes that happens in football. And when you look at where Chelsea were a year ago compared to where we are now, I just want to say, as much as the surroundings are gorgeous around me here, it is lovely to be in a position as a Chelsea fan where we go into a big game and I'm like, I give us a shot here. I give us a chance. I'm not saying we're going to Anfield and we're winning. Forest did it. And I think on any given day right now, I absolutely have enough faith and belief in these young Chelsea players to absolutely deliver the goods when necessary. The question is, will we get a result that we would consider the goods at Anfield this weekend? Look, I'll take a draw. I know I don't want to go into any game saying, I'll take a draw, it's going to be all right, like as long as we don't lose. That's like the easy way out. But I don't think we're going to win. If I'm being very, very honest with you, I don't think we're quite ready yet for me to say we're going to Anfield and we're definitely getting a result. And I don't know if that's just like There's not been any Chelsea for the last 2 weeks, so I don't know. Maybe I'm just being a bit pensive, sitting on the fence. But I'm going to say 2-2 is my score prediction. I think Cole Palmer's going to score a worldie in this game. I also think Nicholas Jackson gets himself a goal at Anfield as well. And I think this is a really, really tough one. But this is absolutely the game where you find out and you learn. This is the real test. People are like, is Maresca the real deal? I think the answer is if we win, absolutely, yes, no questions asked. Don't even bother wasting your breath. If we lose, we're playing against the best team in the league right now. And I, for one, I'm not going to, I say it, but I probably will. I'll be live, guys. There's going to be a GBFC live stream for the Chelsea-Liverpool game. So make sure you're there, because then you'll know everything about how I feel about the whole game. And then 6 things we learned straight after. I'm buzzing this international break is over. I'm not going to lie to you. Chelsea are back. We've got a full month now. Games at the weekend, games in midweek as well. And let's go to Anfield and put in a performance that we can be proud of, because I think most of this season so far, we've done that, we've ticked that box. Can we start converting the good performances against the big teams into wins again? That is when we become elite. That is when we become great. So, your team in your starting 11 in the comments below, and your score predictions. Let me know, please. I'll see you guys later.